Okay, so um, for the first time ever, I'm going to, or as far as I know, it's the first time. Um, I'm going to. I saw Cool Boy the other day fucking around a little bit with Blender, and it got me thinking I should do something with it on stream so I can, show myself as well as you how it works, and how we make all this stuff. Um, it's more of a technical stream. It's not your typical entertainment stream, but we'll do what we do in a new way. So um, what I want to do first is set up a background image in Blender. If you're not familiar with what Blender is, it's a 3D modeling software, and what you do is you can make things that are three-dimensional. So we'll see how far we get with this. Um, hmm, what I need to do here is add, like I said, first add the background image. There's a lot of different versions of Blender, so I gotta just make sure I'm doing this right. The reason is it's kind of what you end up doing is kind of tracing the image. So let's see if we can get it proper. View layer. Why am I not seeing it? I see I'm supposed to find the scene section. I see scene collection, but I don't see scene. All right, so let me just see if there's sometimes there's another way to do this stuff. So let me see. Um, View properties panel, press N, the N button, item view. No, wouldn't you know? All right, well, before we get to that, let's just screw around a little bit with the actual image here, with the actual geometry here, and just fuck with it. And Cool Boy was right. It gets kind of needlessly complicated at times. So it's possible that I'm not even in the right view. It's definitely, see, I'm selecting vertices instead of edges, which is not what you want to do. See, if I pull this out, something happens, but I'm not really sure what the hell that is. Now I was working a little bit before on Red. I was trying to make a version of Red Bar's Studio that you could then like move around a little bit in Roblox. Didn't quite get that far with it, so you know I've used I used Windows. What the hell is it called? Paint 3D, Microsoft Paint 3D. It is kind of a little more user friendly, but the problem is, which is nice, but at the same time, um, it also leads to not as many options as you might want. So that's the trade-off there. Um, what I'm making right now, I can't really trace at the moment because I don't have the images, but what I'm trying to do is make different panels for the front of lossless computers. All right, so we've got 6 panels on the front, so I need 6 of these things. Okay, it's sort of similar to like the computer stores, like the Apple Store. That's kind of the look we're going for. I'll probably thin these out at a certain point, but I want to at least um, get them set up. And they're going to have sort of to begin with, it's going to be sort of a bluish color to them, and eventually it'll be more of a stainless steel. Let's see if I can highlight and move them all around. All right, so I've got them up a little bit. All right, and then around the perimeter of it, then we want these 2 thinner slabs that then hold the glass. All right, so I'll go like this and thin it out like this. The dimensions and the scale are all going to change later, but this is just kind of to give a rough idea of what it will start out looking like. Okay. And then there's going to be a layer of glass added to it. Make a backrooms video. What's up? Unbleached, medium gray, 5 iron. So, and this is a different program than what I used to make Bleachy's Garage, which I do also have to return to. Now let's kind of build this out a little bit so that it's, and we can rotate this. Let's build it out a little bit so that it's there's a whole shape to this thing. Okay, can't tell if I have this on a perfect angle here. I made a version of this that was sort of in what was it in Minecraft, or actually a Minecraft knockoff called Discovery. I think I got it. I think I got it at the time because it wasn't available in any other way. Now, Minecraft is interesting, but if you want the real precise ability to really make it realistic, not that it's a real place, but real enough that it looks more like something that could potentially exist, then you're going to want to maybe do a little more than simply just Minecraft. Anyway, we will get a little more precise with this later on. I just want to stretch it out. I don't know exactly how wide it's going to be, but let's just go with this right now. All right, so we're starting to get the sides of the store, maybe a little further. Let's just really make it a big ass, sides and all that stuff. Okay, so we got the right side, we got the left side. Okay, And we're going to want to do the back as well. So let's move it back to here. All right. Keep moving. I wish you could kind of make some of this stuff a little more transparent while you do it, but there's probably a way to do that I just don't know. All right, so moving it over, maybe a little bit more. Okay. Rise it up, lower it down. Okay, so that right now we've got a building without a roof. I think I'm gonna wait to add the roof just in case I need to like see this stuff in there. Okay, so this is sort of what the front will look like. We will add glass to it. Now, I believe there's a way to change the color by adding a material. Material, okay. So, like I said, I'm going to make it look a little more chromatic, chrome later. Not chrome, but stainless steel. But right now, let's try a base color of sort of a light bluish. Okay. And we want to go into color mode. Okay, so now you can start to see the color being added as well as the shading. Let me just take it back a little bit. Okay, so this is the shaded mode with the lighting. This is without the lighting. Let's go without lighting right now, just because the it's very easy for the computer to get overwhelmed. All right, so we want all sides of this thing, including the front, the back, the neck, the crack, and now we change that color. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we change that color, base color, like I was trying to do before. Something in this range. Okay. Now why did it only change the one? We want to do the same color to everything, right? But that only changed the one. All right, so let me just, I guess we got to manually do this. I don't know. There's got to be a better way that you can do this, but this is kind of, at the moment, the single best way that I know of. And this is a learning process. All right. So we just want some blue. They're not going to be exactly the same. I'm going to have to update that earlier, but I just want a little bit of color, just have some life in this building. Light blue. I really don't know why you have to do them one by one, but like I said, we'll figure that out later. Okay. blue, 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 almost blue. So what does that look like in the lighting mode? Okay, so we can see our one piece on the side is a little off. Maybe we try and get that. It's a little more aqua than the rest of it. Okay. All right. This one too. This one's more of a periwinkle. All right. Now the backside, the back of the store, as I should call it, that actually, the outside is going to be blue, but the inside, we don't want that to be blue. We want it to be more of a white. So we make an inner wall that is white. All right, so I'll have to screw around with the actual colors of stuff. But we have a very basic building with not too much going on right now. Now, how do we take it and actually turn it into something? Well, we want to add a few elements of surprise. We're going to add a cube of about that size, and that is going to be the desk for the repair lab. My proportions might be way off, but the repair lab desk will be in the back here. It might be way off actually. Let's step inside for a moment. Let's step inside the store. Lower this a bit. Not too low because you can see we're actually sinking under the ground. All right, now up and wide. Let's see. How close is it? Okay, so ideally you want a faster computer to run this, because as you saw, I got the little spinny wheel of death, the beach ball of death. All right, so new color. For a new color. There's so many colors in the rainbow. For this particular one, we want to have, now it looks like it's floating because I didn't get the height of the buildings actually correct here. So let me do what I should do, and that would be to add another fucking, oops, sideways, weird. All right, let's move back. Time to move back. As you can see, we can see the ceiling and the walls. All right, we want a floor now. I don't know why the movement is so slow. Anyway, this would be better to do with a mouse, but let's take let's start to make a floor. All right. Where's our floor? Oh, it's way up in the sky. Okay, so we've got the floor. Now, what do we want to do with that? We want to put it on the ground, because ideally the floor is on the ground, not floating in the air. All right. Let's see. All right, that looks good enough. All right, so now want to make it wider. Make it longer, real long. Okay, so now I haven't really decided yet on what color I want to make the floor. I just know that I want there to be one. Looks like we got to make it quite larger. Let's move it over a bit. And then elongate this shit. All right, let's see. Is it okay? So move it over, and now we have somewhat of a floor. Now, is it a little too low? Let's see. Okay. All right, so that's roughly where the floor is, which is funny because now that everything else looks off. You know, you look at the sides of the buildings. This stuff has got to go up, up, up. I'm glad I didn't add a roof yet, because then I would have had to move that as well. All right. All right. All right. And let's lower it. Okay. So now moving the camera back, we have our store with our desk. And then want to move these front panels up a bit, and things will be definitely need to be polished and improved when we get to the and oops yeah, like when we get closer to the end, we're going to have to be more precise with the placement of the floor. As you can see, it's kind of over. It's overlapping. It's overstaying. It's welcome. Now here we go. Okay, so we got our stuff. Here's what it looks like. Now it looks kind of odd, right? It looks kind of empty and dark and weird because, well, it is empty, but also because there's not much lighting, right? There's really not much lighting going on here, so we'll need to add that later. But I want to just get into some more of it. So we need to add, we've got the tech repair desk sort of set up here. We also want another desk behind it. Okay. So are there two desks here? I can't tell. Okay. All right. Good. Good. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. I got to get a mouse to do this proper. But you sort of get the idea. Okay. Now, there will be times where I kind of move this big wall out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Like it's like a little toy house I've got here. This is a little fun little pretend little building that you can just take apart. Okay, now we see this is a little janky back here. So let's move that up. Okay. So we got our tech desk sort of thing back here. The carpet needs to be, or the I don't know, we're going to do hardwood or soft carpet. But that's what we've got here. That we want it to kind of be flush. The two, the desk, and then the other thing. So, got the tech desk and the back desk sort of thing. What else do we need? We got the wall hanging up there, suspended in the air magically. Now, next thing we want is some computer display tables. All right. So, let's make them, I'm going to make them a little narrower. Okay. Narrower but longer. So we can actually fit some computers. And then if I know one thing about tables, it's that they have legs. So, you know me. I like to add legs to my table, so we want 4 of those things. Okay. Yes, this is the woodworking portion of the show. Now we could, of course, make elaborate tables, but I want this to sort of resemble, you know, your high-end Microsoft or Apple computer store. So for that reason, we're doing a very minimalist design. Obviously, it's also a lot easier, but that is not the it's not really the reason behind this choice. Probably do more complicated designs in the future just to like kind of get my um, skills practiced. But here we go. All right, so we're building the world's most simple table because, as they say, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. All right, so let's move that. Let's see. You can always improve the build quality and the integrity of the table later, but I'm going to do my best right now just to, for the sake of OCD, to just kind of try and get these lined up. There might even be an easy way to snap it all together that I don't yet know about. The more complicated designs, of course, are going to be the actual computers sitting on the tables. That will take time. All right, so this one leg over, oops, this leg over here. Luckily, unlike in the real world, if you make a table in a shoddy way, it's not going to just fall over and fall apart. Even if I made this table with 2 legs for some reason, it still wouldn't fall over. Be funny if it did. So, is there a way to, okay, join. I guess that's the same as group in other programs. All right, so not sure if I made this table too tall. I could always make the other tables, the other tech desks and such, taller to kind of fit in, which maybe I'll do that right now. Okay, so we want 4 of these tables. You know, maybe when the lossless oops, maybe when lossless computers has a second location, then it will then we'll start to branch out and add more to the place. But this is what we're dealing with right now. All right, this is the first. This will be a franchise of or a corporate corporate project. But here we go. We've got our 4 computer tables. Okay, so that's what it looks like head on. This is what it looks like with shading but no lights. Of course, the wall is up, so we can, just for the sake of looking at it at its totality, um, here's what we've got so far. The side of this is a little too low. All right, so this is our computer store at the moment. We got those tables kind of bleeding through the ground. I will fix that in a moment, a bit later maybe. But we also see that the inside of these walls is still bluish because it's kind of fitting in with the beta wall, says Kenny. Um, so obviously want to change that. Now, what else do we have? We do need to add a few things here. For example, I want to add some signs on the wall, and I want to also do a little bit more with adding some little uh, little benches for people to sit on, right? So, all right, so let's make this one into a white wall. Did that work? No. All right, that's a white wall. Let's make another white wall. Okay. Now, very dark still. I'm going to have these be pretty much flush. I might even want to widen this place because it is a little cramped. So I might widen this door. I just kind of want to get all the, yeah, see how cramped this thing is? There's like almost no space. It's the worst. If you bought a store and they said, hey, you gotta really fit things into the smallest space possible, what are you gonna do? This is what you'd end up with. So yeah, that's got to change. Also want to add lighting. Let's see, light. So what happens if I put a light up here? Is that gonna do anything? It's not doing much. Okay, let me try to add a light area, an area light. Okay, still pretty weak for what I expect from a light. So volume. Let's say I change the volume to 30. Then what? Do we get better light or no? Let's say we change specular to 30. Does that do it? Okay. Let's try 100. Let's try 200. All right, so now we're starting to light up the place a little bit. I don't know what all of these things mean, like diffuse. Okay. All right. We've got light. It might be too harsh of a light, but I will, for the moment, I will take a harsh light over a completely dull and uninviting light. All right, let me get a second one of these. I'll put it back. I'll put it back here. All right, and then so it'll just be a matter of like figuring out what actually looks natural for a store to have. It's still a very sloppy looking front of the store. We've got pieces kind of sticking out through the front, which is not, you don't want shit just all weird looking like that. At least not me. I want to create a high value, high quality, amazing store. Amazing. All right. So we've got the beginnings of. I'm not sure what the hell that is. Is that just showing where the light is going? Okay. That's just kind of a thing to show. That's what that line is. Okay. So, and this other light I can delete, I think. Maybe? No? Okay. Maybe this is the light I don't need. All right, let's get rid of that one. Delete, cut, whatever. Okay. So we got weird lines and shit going on, but this is our computer store. Oops. All right, I can't really screw around too much with that unless I join these two. Join. Okay, now I can lift the Barbie computer store. I don't know what else to call it because boys didn't really grow up with this shit, did they? Anyway, the shadows kind of look silly. We'll figure out more with the shadows later, but this is what it looks like from the side. All right. The tables appear to be slightly levitating, so that will have to be worked on. But yeah, there we go. Now, we want to add a pane of glass on the front. And we don't even have computers yet. I recognize that. We're going to work on that. But before getting to anything, I want to make sure I can do transparency. All right, so how do we do transparency? We got alpha light now. That's right, alpha light. Thank you, Kenny. We got Alpha Light brought to you by the Alpha Light Company. All right, so we need clear glass windows on the front of Blender and Blender. Now, I don't know if I can get the shine yet, but I want to at least get a transparent window transparent material in Blender. All right. So we might need to use a shader or might need to use some kind of shader or a transparency. So let's see, alpha value. This is, you would think, okay, this is simple. Just gotta, add some, just press the button that says clear. No, it's a little more than that. So let's see what we're dealing with here. Metallic, clear coat. Okay. If I have to, I'll come back to it later. For the bottom of the shader is a slider for the alpha value. Okay. All right, so alpha. I see alpha. Speaking of alpha, if we change the alpha value to say, am I clicking on the wrong thing here? All right. We change the alpha value to 0. What happens? It gets black. Okay. Now we want maybe like let's try, instead of 0, let's try like a 0.2. Can we see through that? Not really. Let's see what it looks like in the other setup. No, it still looks like you can't see through it. Right? So let's see what's up with that. Might have to just not mess with this at all and figure it out later, because there's clearly surface. There's just a lot going on with this. Because we're just looking at a plain old piece of crap. Custom properties, line art, viewport. See, that doesn't look very glass-like. It looks very solid, opaque, you might say. Let's see. Nodes. Oh, we got the spinning wheel again. Oh. All right, I'm going to set this glass aside for a bit and come back to it, just so I can figure it out later. We want our wall to be up a little more. We're going to build the computer wall and make Gay Guitar Guy pay for it. All right. So that's what it looks like from above. The lights. So why don't we actually focus a little bit on something else over here. Cancel. Let's work a little bit on the actual, because this is a computer store, so there are products in the store, and mainly those products are computers, of course. So we're going to make a very basic beginner computer. It's just your starter computer, you know. So, and then add more to it later. Now, what I need to make is more of some rounded edges. I'm not sure how to do that yet. So, until I navigate that part of it, I'm just gonna make some really simple stuff here. Computer. All right. All right. This is not indicative of what lossless computers will be. They will be much more stylish in nature, but I have to just kind of, fill the space with the mock-up sort of um, item first, just to really, you know, get it looking a bit like an actual computer store to some degree. Now, all right, so computer itself, let's make the screen more of like a light blue. Okay, for now. And then the screen, the monitor edges. I understand it's looking. This is very boxy. It's looking like something you would have had in in the 90s. It's more of a 90s setup for now. But we want to sell. We want to really sell multicolored computers for everyone to enjoy. So just a little bit of that right now. Now let me see. How do they? Okay. And then the stand, the computer stand that it stands on, we're going to make that just like a silver stand. So we'll go with a silvery, grayish kind of look. Oops. Oops. Wrong. Clicked the wrong thing there. Okay. White. Okay. All right. So if you were playing Minecraft and you saw a computer, you would maybe sort of recognize this as a computer, sort of. So that's the base level. That's the minimum. I'm basically right now making something that fulfills the absolute minimum requirements of something that maybe kind of looks like a computer, just so we can have a product to put on the shelves. Then, of course, later you beautify it, you make it look amazing. All right, so let's look here. All right. So we've got our silly computer. It really kind of just looks like a TV from the 50s or something, with its red tint. And the proportions are silly, like it's like square. It should be more rectangular. So actually, let me rectangular there. That actually, even that little bit, we're already more in a computer zone than we were before. Let's pull this out a little bit, widen this. Okay, it's not really, doesn't really make sense to have the screen on the back. So let's pull that forward. Okay, so that is a little more computer-esque, a little bit. Now, this is um, a lossless computer from the Lossless Company. So we do want to add a logo to the front of the device. Now, I'm going to have to add like text to it later, but let's just fuck around and find out what happens. All right. All right. So we got our little circle badge logo here. It's way too big. So we're going to miniaturize it. Sort of the shape of the Dell logo. I wasn't thinking of Dell when I made it, but it does kind of look like that. All right. Okay. So now it is red, which means it is going to be red, so it could potentially blend in with the whole computer. So that's going to be an issue. So it's going to need a surrounding type of a surrounding border. All right. Put that back. We're going to make this into more of a gray. Let's see. Oops, I changed the color of the wrong thing. Okay. This needs to be gray. Why does it keep? Okay. Let's make this gray. Just simply gray. All right. All right. So. All right. So we're just dealing with, and it's, the precision and the perfection of this is not really there yet, but you can see what we're looking for, looking to do. All right. It's kind of fatter than it needs to be when it's circular. Okay, now moving this one over. We want to make this red. Our base color is red. Okay, so we've got our red logo surrounded by a border of a little bit of gray silver. That way it does not blend in with the background. Now I don't know how to add text yet, so let's just um, let's shorten it until we've got our computer logo that it will eventually say lossless. Might make it bigger, might make it smaller. But this is our computer here. And that's the first computer. I think the legs are kind of long on it. They don't need to be that long. That's a little better. And then I want to even out these edges a little bit. Anyway, we will get to creating the absolute perfect computer with images on its screen and all that jazz. But for now, I just wanted to get a basic computer here. All right. So let me make a copy. Okay. So now that I made a copy, I can join this together. Oops, I should be able to join this together. No? Oh, no join? Huh. I just kind of want to join it. Am I not allowed? Project mode. Join. Okay. Now, make another computer and move it over. This one is going to be the same kind of computer, right? But it's going to have gray edges. It's going to have more of a dark gray look to it. Oops, I did purple by accident. Actually, purple could be cool too. But for this one, we want it to be a dark gray. Okay. We can now join. Okay. We got some computers here. Let's get another computer. So we're going to make this one, let's see, make this one orange. Okay, and these should look better under the light. Join. Okay. One more. At least one more, maybe more. Perhaps more than that. We want a bluish. Okay? So, we get our blue computer. Okay. So we've got 4 computers right now. Oh, right, there's also going to be a pink one. So we have a total of 5 all-in-one desktop computers. You know, and if this business really does well, then we will branch out and make some more. So this will be the pink computer for women or anybody who likes pink. Imagine a computer for women. Powerful enough for a woman. All right, so why does this computer look fucking weird? Oh, I was just too zoomed out. All right, so we've got these computers, but they all look fucking huge. So we need to shrink them. All right, so we got our computer store. Check it out. Some fucking actual merchandise now in the store as we wanted. So let's do this. Put them on a table. Oops. Evidently, this one was not grouped correctly. Let me do that now. Let's get rid of that piece. It's just floating out there in nowhere land. Let's at least move it. All right, so and I'll fix that later. But we got this computer here. We got to open the wall again. Of course, we're going to need mice and keyboards and all that good shit. But first, we simply want to see it on the table. And we got to work on these lights because the lights look fucking ridiculous. All right. I'll put the orange computer next to it. Okay. Then we pick the gray one. Put it down. All right, what else? Purple, pinkish purple. Well, there's going to be more stuff. There's going to be more computers set up. There's going to be laptops, all that jazz. And we want to be able to like walk around this place at some point too. We're just kind of piece by piece doing this in a basic way. All right. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell is this red computer doing? If we're not going to put any more desktops out there on the tables, I'll show you. This is actually going to be the display computer that we put in the front. And because of that, it's got to be a little bit bigger than the rest of them. So we're going to make it tall and wide. It might actually be too tall and too wide. There's going to be the display piece in the window here. All right, so the lighting isn't, oh, we're not even in the ballpark. All right, go down, go back, go back more. Want to make it even taller, even wider. We see we're it's gonna have to not be as big as I want it to be right now because the space constraints. But as you can see, it's considerably larger than the other computers in the area. So it's gonna be the left display computer. All right. It'll be right over here. All right. So the lighting and flickering is kind of obnoxious. It will be better in the final version, I assure you. But here's what we got so far. Let's put the wall down. All right. This is our little sweet little computer store. That needs to be bigger. And of course, we're going to have to add the Lossless Computers logo to the front of the store. Very important. So, add a cylinder, big ass cylinder here, bend it like so. All right. Want to make it a little wider and a little taller. Okay. So, on the actual building, the way it's going to be is going to have a It's going to have a rounded sort of rectangular kind of thing around it. You know, you'll see what I mean. But in the meantime, we'll just like we'll raise this up, make it a little bigger. Okay. That way we actually have space to put these pieces. All right. Okay. And then we're going to make this piece right here into a silver. Now we're going to pull it forwards a little bit. Now this is blending in because I haven't changed the color yet. Gotta make this a red. Okay. Gotta make this red. Alright. And this is gonna, when I add the text, it's gonna say lossless. So what I'll do is I'll just put like a little piece of, you can see we're making this store a lot taller now. I'll put a little piece of, just a little piece like this to indicate where the words are going to be. Okay. Eventually it will say lossless on here. Okay. And then to the right, we're gonna have black. Why does that not look black? Black. We're gonna make it look black, and this is where it will say computers. Now it looks, now the lossless sign looks like a do not enter sign, which is not the intent here, but all right, this is the current state of our computer store. We got the regular size computers in there, and we've got the display big ass computer, and we've got what the sign is going to eventually become. Of course, we will need to make these sides bigger so that it doesn't look ridiculous, but that will probably come in the future. All right, so this is all of the work that I want to do on this right now. In the future, I am likely to continue, and we will get to awesome, amazing heights and make one of the greatest computer stores you've ever seen. Thanks for watching. This has been Time to Blend.